Alright everybody, I got my brand new Spud, I got an ice skimmer, I got my fish finder, my fishing pole. Guys, I'm ready to go ice fishing. I've watched a bunch of YouTube videos, I've seen everything that I need to know. I know there's guys up in Minnesota and northern Michigan ice fishing, so I'm out here on my local lake and we're going to do some ice fishing, so hang on. No one told me about this stuff. I can't ice fish in this. Alright everybody, all joking aside, I really think it's important, especially this time of year, to make a safety video on ice fishing. And there's a lot of good safety videos actually that I saw. I was actually looking earlier today at some safety videos about ice fishing, and you know, as you guys saw from the intro, there's like no ice on any of the lakes here in central lower Michigan. It's December, what is the date? It's December 21st. Okay, so you guys are going to see this on Thursday, December 23rd, I think is when we release this video. But the ice report, from my best guess, from about here down, is there's no safe ice. I mean, definitely Saginaw Bay and south, there's probably going to be very little, if any, safe ice, just because we've had this kind of warming trend and we haven't had really cold nights. It's going to warm up, I think, on Christmas Eve to mid 40s, almost 50 degrees. So unfortunately, for central lower, again, probably this area here in Michigan down south, there's just no safe ice. I know there's some guys that are ice fishing up in UP, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and we all get really antsy this time of year because, you know, open water fishing is it's still going on. There's still walleye fishing in St. Clair River, Detroit River, Saginaw River. I know there's guys catching a lot of lake trout off the piers this time of year. Steelhead is still running strong, obviously, in the rivers. But for those of us that want to ice fish, I mean, I still want to steelhead fish, but I really want to ice fish. You know, being safe on the ice is very important. You know, we want to make sure we can come back home to our loved ones and continue to do this stuff. So what I want to do in this video, I want to make it short and sweet. I want to go over with you my top safety picks, things that I always have with me when I'm on the ice, especially early ice. As the ice transition and we get into mid January, late January, I maybe not carry all the stuff with me, but I have it close by. I always keep it in my sled. And probably, you know, I've got the floating suit back here. I'll talk about that in a minute. That's a little bit pretty expensive upgrade to the whole ice fishing stuff that I have, I guess. But really, the first thing are some sort of ice pick that you can put around your neck. Now, these are from Frabla. I know that Clam makes one, and there's a few other companies that make some. But just so you guys can see, these have retractable pins on them, or these spikes. And they do you no good sitting in your bucket. And I see a lot of times where guys will, you know, take these off. You know, later season, maybe not that big a deal, but early season especially, until you get a good maybe 6, 7, 8 inches of ice, I'll always have these things around my neck. They are kind of a pain because they get in front of my camera, but it's all about safety. So the whole premise behind these is if you fall in the ice, unfortunately, you know, these spikes can retract. So as you fall in, if you're trying to get out, you can use these to climb your way out of the ice. Never had to do that, fortunately. But with me spending all of my winter now ice fishing and not making maple syrup, I'm going to be ice fishing a lot more. So really important to have some safety spikes. This is a must. These are not that expensive. I'll leave a link to these. I think these are maybe like 20 bucks, but these are a must-have. Something else that I recently added to the arsenal was this Scotty float. It's a rope. It's a safety rope, but it's got a little float in it. And this is a safety line in case someone does fall in the water. It's got a little strap on here. But you open this up and you hang on to this end, and then you throw this to somebody if they've fallen in the water. You know, this is something that my good buddy Brandon, that does a lot of guiding on St. Clair or Saginaw Bay. He has one of these. Again, I'll leave a link to this down in the description, but I always have this with me just in case someone does fall in. I've got a safety rope. Something that's maybe, you know, maybe, I don't want to say for thin ice only, but like slip and fall is a really big problem, obviously, with ice fishing. So some sort of cleat. I picked these ones up, I think, at my local Meijer or Walmart. There's a bunch of different brands out there, but these were on sale. I like these because these go in the center of your boot. I know there's some kind of chain mesh ones that actually go around your entire foot of your boot, and I've had those before. Haven't had much luck with them, but you know, you might yourself. So some sort of safety spikes for walking, obviously. That's not a must-have, but that's just kind of another nice safety thing. Something that's really important to have, especially on safe ice, I'm going to save the best for last, but is a spud or a pick, so that you can walk along in front of you and use this spud or spike, whatever you want to call it, to check the ice. And if you're walking on the ice and you hit it one time, there's enough weight on this thing. If this thing rapids through the water or through the ice and breaks through, you need to stop. So that's why it's got this nice little handy wrist guard on it, so you can just walk through and punch the ice. And I'll make another video during early ice season in a couple weeks if we get enough ice about doing some of these things as you're walking out. But as you guys saw, there's just no ice right now, so I figured I'd take the time. This will give you guys time to actually, you know, upgrade some of your equipment, maybe add some more things to your arsenal so that you are ready when we get that first ice. So this is a big one, some sort of ice pick. A lot of people make these themselves, but I just picked one of these up from, I think, Eskimo. I'm not sure. Picked this up a couple years ago. But yeah, just got to have one of these, especially during your early ice. And last but not least, this one can be kind of tough for people to swallow, because the price of it can be expensive. There's a lot of different manufacturers out there, but some sort of flotation suit. These suits are absolute game changers. If you're going to spend any amount of time on the ice, you know, for an extended period of time, if you're a really early ice fisherman or even late ice fisherman, or even you fish cold weather and open water, having some sort of flotation suit is an absolute game changer. The only other alternative is to wear a life jacket, right? And who really wants to wear a life jacket out on the ice? I've seen people do it. That's totally fine. But for me, purchasing this IceArmor flotation suit by Clam was something that I've been wanting to do. I got it for a pretty reasonable price. I got it from Shields. I'll be sure to leave a link in the description of this video where you can get those. But again, some sort of, you know, flotation suit, this could save your life. And again, I've had people say, Jay, these things are expensive, right? And I get it. They're an investment, but what's more important, your life or, you know, saving up to actually get yourself a decent flotation suit? And like I said, there's a lot of good manufacturers out there. I've been a huge fan of Clam IceArmor products since the first time I started going ice fishing. So that's why I picked this. I know Striker's got a really good suit. There's several other manufacturers that have really nice suits. So that one was a big upgrade for me this year, especially because I'm going to be fishing earlier and I'm going to be fishing later. I want to come home to Mrs. Blue Jay, right? I want to come home to my family and I want to see my friends. I want to continue to do this. So buying a floating suit was an investment that's worth every penny. So again, I wanted to shoot this on the lake, out on the water, but it was super cold and super windy and the audio was not good, so I just decided to do the video inside. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this really quick safety video on early ice. And again, I'll do another video on the ice actually, so we can kind of go through some of the steps, what I do, how I walk it on the ice, how I check the ice. But yeah, definitely appreciate you guys hanging out with me for this video. If you like this kind of content, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment, let me know what kind of other tips and tricks or safety videos you guys want me to make. And yeah, that really helps with the algorithm too. If you guys leave comments, leave thumbs up, make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. I'm trying to get to my first 1,000 followers on YouTube. The growth's been really good. I can't thank you guys enough for all your support. So again, thank you so much for everything. And remember, the easiest way to change your attitude is by showing gratitude. Thanks, and we'll catch you in the water next time.